Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Dear students, I, Dr. Shivang Patel, Associate Professor from School of Computer Science, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University, welcome you all from the Chaitanya studio of Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. In the lecture series of Python programming, we have discussed various data structures in previous session. In the recent session, we have already discussed the most important data structure called dictionaries. In that session, we have discussed, suppose you want to record some of the items in pair, that means key and value. In that case, you are using that dictionary data structure. Or suppose you want to store some configuration values. If you want to store some values that are in the pair, in that case you are using that data structure. Now in today's session, we are going to discuss one more data structure, that is set. So after completion of this unit, you can understand the concept of sets in Python. You can differentiate between list and set, as we have discussed already in the previous sessions, various difference between list, tuple and dictionary. We can see the difference between list and sets in today's session. Then after, you can recognize the use cases as well as the applications of sets in Python. We can also demonstrate some of the examples, so you can get clear how to create set and which are the applications, which are the inbuilt methods that can be used in the set. Now introduction. To store multiple items using a single variable, in the Python you can use the built-in data type, or you can say that the built-in data structure, that set is available in the Python. As you already aware, in the previous data structure we have discussed list, tuple and dictionary. If you want to create a list, then you are using the square bracket whenever you want to create. The syntax is that. Suppose you want to create tuple, in that case you are using parenthesis. If you want to create dictionary, then whatever the key and value pair, that is inside the curly bracket. Now same way you have to follow the syntax here to create a set. But before that, why the set is required, or what is the basic fundamental difference among other data structure in the Python? So sets are mutable compared to the other data structure. You can change anything once you are creating that set. So after creating set, you can change, that means you can add, update or delete values inside the set. Then it is unordered. If you are considering other data structures, then they are ordered, say for example list and tuple. So if you want to get any element from that particular list or the tuple, you are using the concept of indexing. So that index that represent the sequential format, that index starts from 0 up to n. So that is order set. But here in the set, it is not order. So whatever the items that are stored inside the set, they are on order. So mind one thing, whenever you are executing your Python program in which you have created the set, and whenever you are trying to display whatever the elements inside the set, every time whenever you are executing your code, the sequence of whatever the elements or items within the set, that may differ. Why? Because they are on order. There is no specific sequence. So here the important use case is that whenever you are creating the set, if you are requiring that no values that can be repeated, no values that can be duplicated, in that case you are using the concept of set. That is the feature of set in which the values that can be stored are unique. Suppose there are duplicate values in that and you are executing that set, so in the result, in the output, you will get only the unique values, right? That means it doesn't allow duplicate values. Then after sets, use cases and the operations, as you already aware, suppose you want to iterate whatever the elements inside the set. So here no concept of indexing, right? That is the unordered set. Duplicates are not allowed. So index or key that cannot be used as in the dictionary or as in the list or tuple. So the general syntax to create a set, that is you have to write on the left hand side valid identifier name. It can be anything. You must have to follow whatever the rules and regulation to give the identifier name. then after equal to sign, and on the right hand side you have to put curly bracket, and between curly bracket you have to mention the values. Remember, here in the previous session we have discussed dictionary, in that key and value pairs are there. Here only values are there, and different values that are separated by the comma, and all the values are inside the curly bracket. That is the basic syntax for set. Now you can get more idea. Here in this example we have created two kinds of sets. One is integer set, another is for string values. So in first you can observe we have getting the values, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 10 and 20. So here values are repeated whenever you are creating the set, but you can observe when you are executing your code, whatever the output, that removes those duplicate value. So that is the feature of set that contains only unique values. So sometimes, suppose in the list or tuple some of the values that are repeated, and if you want to remove that repeated value and you are requiring only unique values, then you can pass that whole list or whole tuple inside the set. So you will get only the unique values. That is one of the applications of set. Second set we have created, that is the strings. Again here you can observe that can be created with the help of curly bracket. Inside that strings are there, that's why we are using double quotation. All the values are separated by comma, and you can observe the output. Now here multiple scenarios that can be displayed in the output. Whenever you are executing multiple times this code, the order can be changed. That is again the feature of set, as we have discussed. Whatever the elements or items inside the set, they are not having some specific order, they are unordered. So whenever you are executing your code, every time the order that can be changed, right? Now use cases or applications of sets. So basically you can perform different operations on the sets. You can use for filtration, data filtration, or if you want to remove some duplicate values, in that case you are using the set. Then after you want to check membership testing, right? What is the membership testing? It is the same as in the list or tuple. You are using the in operator, right, to check whether that particular element that resides in the list or tuple. Same way here you can use to check whether that particular element that is available or inside the set or not, but it is faster process, because whatever the comparison that can be done with the help of specific hash table. There is no concept of hash table in the previous data structure, but here whatever the processing for that membership testing, that is more fast compared to the previous data structure due to the hash table. Third application, mathematical operations. So you already aware in your school days in the math subject, you are knowing that which are the different operations for the set. You are performing union operation, you are performing intersection operation, you are performing difference operations. So these are the different mathematical operations that you can perform on the set values. It can be used for duplicating the whatever the elements. So you can get idea based on this example. Here we have created one set. Inside that the values, or you can say that the fruit name that are repeated multiple times in the list. Now suppose you want to remove whatever the duplicate values, you are passing that whole list as an argument in the set. So you can see unique data, that is our variable, equal to set, and then after you are passing here that fruit list, that is nothing but a list. Now what is the result? Whenever you are printing the values of set, the values only unique that are displayed, and duplicate values that can be terminated or discarded. Then after membership testing, you can check that particular element that is available in the set or not. You can observe here in the example, say for example print apple in fruits. Again here in operator that can be used. The output that is in the boolean form, whether the element inside the set, then the result will be true. If it is not there, then the false will be returned. Then after mathematical operations, so as we have already discussed, you can apply multiple operations. For different operations you have to use some specific symbol. You can use union, for that you are using pipeline symbol. Then after intersection operation, that is ampersand you are using. Difference operation you are using hyphen sign, and for symmetric differentiate, for that you are using the caret sign. Now what is the union? Suppose you are having the multiple sets, you want to combine all the elements, right? In that case you are using that union operation. Now what is intersection? Suppose in the multiple set or two sets, Suppose you are requiring to get only common elements or common items. In that case, you are using here intersection. Now difference, say for example, you are having two sets, set A and set B. You are requiring only those elements that are available in set A but not in B. In that case, you are using this operation difference, and the next operation, that is symmetric difference, that is the caret sign. So you want to find the elements that are in either set but not in both. That means whatever the common elements from both the sets, that can be removed, that can be discarded, and only those elements unique from two sets, that will be displayed. So these are the basic mathematical operations that you can perform. You can clear with this help of demonstration. Here two sets are there. First we have performed union operation. You can observe the output, all the elements that are combined together in the union operation, duplicates that can be removed. Then in intersection, only common elements from both the sets, that will be displayed. In difference operation, set 1 minus 2, so only elements that are in the set 1 but not in set 2, that will be printed. Now suppose you are interchanging this set 2 minus set 1, in that case what happened? Only elements in the set 2 but not in set 1, that will be printed. And then after caret sign, that means only unique elements from both the set, that will be displayed. You can say that the common elements from both the set, that can be discarded here, right? Now sets and the methods, some inbuilt methods that can be used to perform various operations on the set. The very first method, that is add method. Suppose you want to add a single element into the set, you can use add method. Suppose whatever the element you want to add, that is repeated in the set, then there will be no change in the output, only whatever the elements available, that will be remain as it is. Second is remove. Suppose you want to remove an element from the set, then you can use this method. Now suppose that element is not available in the set and still you are trying to remove that element. In that case what happens? Compiler will give you, or the program will raise the error, that is key error, that may be raised by the program, right? Second is discard. Now it is same as the remove, but in the remove method, suppose you are trying to remove the element which is not in the set, then the error, or you can say that the program raised the key error, but here in the case of discard, that will not be raised, only no change in the output, right? That is the basic difference between the removed and the discard method. Mind well for the objective questions. Then after update list. Now suppose you want to add some elements into the set, so in that case you are using that update. So here you are passing the list, whatever the list you have created. So what happened? Whatever the elements of list that are added into the sets, that it can be done by the update method. Then after pop method, as we have discussed in the previous session, the same operation in the dictionary. Suppose you want to remove some particular element, and if you want to store that particular element into some variable, right? In that case you are using that pop operation. Now suppose you are trying to remove particular element and that element is not there in the set, again the key error that can be raised. Then after clear, again it is the same operation as we have discussed in the dictionary. Suppose you want to remove all the elements, not the data structure, right, from the set. In that case you are using this clear method. Now all those methods that we have mentioned here in the program, you can see we have created one set. Then after set 1 dot add method we are using 4 that you are adding. So in the result total 1, 2, 3, 5 and 7 elements are there. After executing this statement 4 will be added. Then after remove, so 3 will be removed. If you are trying to remove the elements which is not in the set as we have discussed, the error will be raised, that is key error. Then after discard, we have already discussed the difference between remove and discard. Then after, if you want to pop some element and assign into some variable, if you want to print which variable that can be or which value that can be popped, in that case you are using this pop method. And finally clear method to remove, or you want to say that, say for example you want to clear all the elements but not the data structure, in that case you are using clear. So this is the output of that previous program, right? Now list versus set, we will see the difference between list and set. So it can be in the tabular form, so you can get more idea. So definition, as you already aware, set, what is set is the collection of unordered and unique collection of items. But in the case of list, that is order, because the index concept that is used to fetch the elements here. Now mutability, so sets are mutable, again lists are also mutable, that is the similarity between these two data structures. Duplicates, so that is the feature of set, duplicates are not allowed, but in list you can use multiple values multiple times. Indexing, that is not supported by set, as we have already discussed, because it is the unordered set. Randomly the elements will be printed whenever you are trying to fetch the elements from the set, but here in the list you can get some specific index value to fetch the elements, so that is order list, or you can say that it supports the index. What are the applications or use cases? Suppose you want to check membership function, suppose you are requiring only print not duplicate values, only unique values, in that case you are using this set operation. Additionally, suppose you want to perform some mathematical operations, in that case you are using that set operation. In the case of list, it is useful to maintain the sequence, the order list of items, and this allows duplicate values, right? And the syntax, as we have already discussed, the set that can be created with the help of curly bracket and whatever the elements that are separated by the comma, while in the case of list you can create list with the help of square bracket and all the elements are separated by comma. So this is the difference between the sets and the list. Now we are concluding our session. In today's session we have discussed set, we have also compared set with other data structure, we have create set, we have performed various operations, mathematical operations, union, intersection, difference, caret operation that we have discussed. We have also discussed few of the inbuilt methods that can be used with the set, right? In the next subsequent session we are going to start some more advanced concept. Till then, happy learning, happy coding. Thank you.